everyone, and welcome to the DeHart house. My name is Alicia, and I'm your host of this crafty channel here on YouTube. Today is Saturday, February 8th, and it's been busy. It's been busy, and there's been a lot going on. You can probably tell from the sound of my voice that I am getting over an illness, and I still haven't quite completely kicked it yet, so I have some water nearby. I've been drinking lots of tea and blowing my nose, and it's just been that kind of, I want to say week, but it's been 2 weeks since I've seen you, and so much has happened. So yeah, let me get into the things that I've been working on and just kind of talking about stuff. So, funny story, this is take 2. I recorded my whole episode with my microphone, and there's no sound on any of those video files. So I'm going to do this again and hope that it's just as good as the first time. So I only finished one project since the last time I saw you, and I think it's been a couple of weeks. I did want to do an episode last weekend, but I got the flu. Yeah, flu. I don't think I've ever had the flu before. Certainly not in my adult life. It sucks. It totally sucks. I had no idea how quickly that crap hits you, and it just took me out, like completely out. So yeah, I ran errands on Saturday, and then Saturday night I was laying down to go to sleep, and I was like, wow, my throat really hurts. And then I got up in the night coughing a bit. It was really phlegmy, and I'm like, oh man, I must be getting sick. And then I woke up Saturday morning and went, oh yeah, I'm definitely sick. I had a fever. My throat was so sore, I didn't want to talk. Like, it hurt to talk, it hurt to cough, and I just slept. I slept like all day Sunday. Monday, I knew I was gonna call in to work, and I pretty much slept all day Monday. We actually had a snow day Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I'm in the Pacific Northwest. I live in Renton, Washington, which is near Seattle. And yeah, we got snow. Not like feet and feet of snow. We got a few inches of snow, and it frickin' shut down everything. So I can roll my eyes because I grew up in Michigan, where we get lots of snow. But the difference is that the cities and counties and everyone are set up to deal with it, as opposed to here, there really isn't a lot of equipment and infrastructure for such things, so hence school being closed and places being closed and accidents on the road and all kinds of things happening. So anyway, yeah, so no, there was no episode last weekend because I was terribly ill and it just wasn't happening. But anyway, before that all happened last week, I did finish a second hat. So I have 2 of them now. They're very bright colored hats, which was the point, was to make hats for us to wear while we're walking our dog in the dark of winter. So we have a black Labrador. She is 8 years old, 9 years old. I think she's 8. But yeah, she is dark, and we have dark coats and dark clothing, and then in the wintertime it's dark, and I thought we could use some hats that were super bright to help us stand out. So I knit these from the bottom up. I did a rolled hem. So I knit the hem to be, I did 4 inches of ribbing, rolled the edge over, and then knit through the cast on edge to join it, and then knit up and did some crown decreases. And I love them. It turned out with the colors that the yellow bit is at the bottom and then like the rest of the hat is orange, which I was not trying to do that on purpose, but it just worked out that way. So we have matching hats. And I was able to get both of these hats out of 1 skein of yarn, and I have just a little bit left over. And this yarn is from Joann's. This is Big Twist Rave, and the color is Electric Citrus. It is a single ply acrylic yarn, and it was fun to work with. So we shall see how it wears and stands up to use. The washing instructions say you can machine wash this, but not machine dry the yarn. And I haven't seen that before with acrylic yarn. I'm assuming it's because it's a single ply yarn. But yeah, so I did enjoy knitting with it. So for that reason, I would use it again. But before I go buy a whole bunch more or anything, I want to see how it does actually hold up over time with a few uses and maybe some washes. Because yeah, if it's just gonna, I mean, if it pills like crazy, if it felts, I don't know. We'll see. But I finished a hat, so we have a set of 2 hats, which is great. And that's all that I finished because, like I said, I was sick and it took me out for like 5 days solid, and I'm still congested and tired and just not 100% myself again. I do have a half finished object. I have a sock. So this is going to be a pair of socks for myself, and I'm knitting this out of Knit Picks Feliccini, which is the same yarn as Knit Picks Felici, but the only difference is that the stripes are thinner. And this colorway is called Lemon Bar. It has yellow, tan, white, and this really pale, like sage green. It's quite pretty. And yeah, I got down to the toe decreases, and all I had to do was Kitchener stitch the toe. I did that this morning. Yeah, so that's all set. I think this progress keeper is where I was last time I showed this to you, so I was pretty close to being done. And then I did go ahead and cast on the second sock. And I've done a couple rounds of ribbing. But yeah, I'm knitting this top down, 1 by 1 ribbing for 20 rounds. There's a dog hair stuck in there. I'm using US size 0 needles. These are Chalgu needles, which are my favorites. I'm using 64 stitches, magic loop, and yeah, this yarn came in a 100-gram ball, and I did weigh it after finishing the first sock. I had, I think, 66 grams still left on here, so I will definitely get a second sock out of here and have some left over. So that's going quite well. I have another half finished object? Question mark. I want to call it a half finished object. But yeah, it's my crochet sweater. So I am crocheting a sweater. It is the Cosmopolitan sweater, which is a bat wing sweater. It is crocheted from the bottom up, and you make a front panel and a back panel, and this is the front panel. And yeah, I did the last row of stitches on one of these shoulders this morning. It was a fruitful morning, and I'm pretty excited about that. Okay. I'm like, I'm not ripping out stitches, am I? And the answer is no. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty excited, but I'm a little concerned about the length because it seems pretty short. It's quite difficult to judge the sizing of this because it is only the front half, but yeah, I don't know. It just seems short. So I'll be able to get a better idea once I have the back panel made and I can attach it to the front panel and actually put this thing on. And I'm willing to do all of that because if it is too short, I feel pretty confident that I could pick up from the bottom edge and I could crochet the other way and add some length to this, and that wouldn't be too super obvious. So yeah, I think it's gonna be fine. But my gauge was a little off, so I've already had to make a few adjustments for that. But I love the color, and I like how the finished sweater looks in the photographs, so I'm pretty excited to have a sweater like this in the near future. I'm not super excited about starting the next panel. I did not start it yet, but I will probably do that tonight. I do remember that when I was starting this, that very first row of crocheting was a huge pain because the pattern has you crocheting into the chain in a particular way so that the bottom edge basically looks like a knit bind off, which I feel like is probably worth doing. It was just so annoying. So I know that's what is gonna happen this second time. And I just have to suck it up, Buttercup, and get it done because it's the only way I'm gonna get this beautiful sweater. So yeah, I have my sweater, my front panel. I will need to make my back panel. That won't quite finish the sweater, as I will still need to do, there's something for the neckline and then cuffs at the end of the sleeves, and then of course the bottom edge has some ribbing as well, plus if I need to add length to it. So it's not quite as cut and dry as front panel, back panel, and you're done, but this is a lot of crocheting that has happened, and I feel very, very happy about it. And I just love how this texture looks, so I'm excited. I did have another hat on the needles. That was out of hand spun yarn. And that hat was being made from the top down, but I did not love it. So I ripped it out. And the plan is to cast on a hat with this, but to make it bottom up. So the same way that I made the very bright orange hats is how I plan to make this one. I am thinking about doing the rolled hem because I'm just in love with it at the moment, so why not? And I think I have enough yarn to do so. So I think I will go ahead and plan for that. But yeah, it's there is no hat in progress. There was, I've ripped it out. But I do have plans to start over. No progress was made on my cross stitching. It is in the same place as it was last time. I did not steam it or anything. It has just been sitting there. No spinning has happened. Yeah. It's been pretty light on the crafting front, but I think that makes sense since I was sick. I was so sick. But to talk about some goals, I do have goals for the year of 2025, and some of those are crafting related, of course. One of those goals is to use more out of my stash than what I bring in. And I'm doing separate counts with commercial yarn versus hand spun because I don't want the making of hand spun yarn to count against me in a different goal. So I'm going to count how much hand spun I bring in and how much hand spun I use out, but I'm going to count that in it separately from my commercial yarn. So when I say I want to use more out of the stash than what I bring in, that is targeted at commercial yarn. So with my commercial yarn, I have used things, I have used yarn out of my stash, not things, yarn. I have finished a pair of socks and 2 hats so far this year. In total, that has brought out 484 yards out of the stash. I did purchase some yarn, namely the very bright yarn to make my hats. I originally purchased 2 skeins. I was able to return one of them, so it was easy. I don't know why I thought it would be hard and they would question me. They accepted it and gave me my money back, so it was all good. So instead of bringing in 2 skeins, I only brought in 1, and that was 312 yards. So I am now ahead on this goal, and that makes me very, very happy. And I'm excited to see how that number changes when I eventually finish that crochet sweater. But yeah, so that goal is underway. I have making goals centered around different techniques and crafting methods, and to help me kind of organize that goal, I've made a fiber bingo card for 2025. I have yet to mark off a square on that bingo card, but I have projects underway that correspond to squares. One of those projects is my crochet sweater, because I have a crochet square. So that is being thought about as I cast on new projects and start planning out what I'm going to make next, while still leaving things open to create other, like the hats weren't on there, but we needed some hats, and I have the flexibility to just cast them on and make them if I feel like it. So yeah. I have other goals going on in my life as well that correspond to my health and wellness and our home, and I thought I would share maybe a few of those with you here today because things went really well in the month of January. So yeah, my goals are monthly focused, but the idea is that each month it kind of moves me along the trajectory I want to go for the year. So they're little check-ins along the way so that I'm not trying to, eat an elephant. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So every month is kind of a bite of the elephant. That's how that saying goes, right? Is it an elephant or a horse? It doesn't matter. Anyway, so my craft room is certainly a cluttered space in my home. It is not the only cluttered space in my home. I feel like every room in this house has some element of clutter to it, and it is annoying. That's how I'm going to say it. It's annoying. So each month we're picking something different to focus on, but that will move us toward a goal of decluttering our home, reclaiming some space that's currently unusable, so that we can have the flexibility to do what we want in our home. So I would love to use this space more, but because it's also like storage, I can't use the space like I want to. So the idea is to keep the things we need and purge the things we don't. And with that, we gain something, space. Yeah, so for the month of January, the focus was on our closets, our clothing. So our dressers and our closets. And we did go through our clothing and we got rid of things that we don't wear anymore. Or even if I could fit into that, I wouldn't wear it anyway. And we just donated them. So it took a few weekends because it was a lot to sort through. I, in particular, have a lot, had, because I got rid of a lot. I had a lot of clothing. Some of it was very easy. I just looked at it and knew, nope, I'm never gonna wear that again. I don't like it for whatever reason. And some of it I actually had a pile of things that I needed to try on, which took longer. But I'm like, I don't know if that fits. I don't remember how it feels on my body. Did I like, the length of it or whatever. So, but yeah, we got rid of, I think, 6 bags, like Walmart bags, not big old trash bags, but six bags of clothing got donated. And then I put 3 bags in storage underneath the bed. So Michael built us a wonderful bed frame that actually has drawers on the bottom. And I keep forgetting we actually have these drawers. These drawers have random things in them. But I was able to make use of that drawer space with 3 bags of clothing that I do want to wear, but that currently don't fit me because I've put on some weight over the years, which is pretty typical. And we have some goals around our health and wellness to lose some of the weight, build some muscle so that we can increase the amount of things we can do without injuring ourselves, like hiking and backpacking and things that we used to do when we were more active and that we would like to be able to do again. So, yeah, so I have some clothing that doesn't fit me right now. It used to, and I think I will be able to wear it again in the future. So I put them into bags, labeled them, tucked them into storage, so that they are easy to find. It's organized. And it's not out cluttering the clothing I can wear now. Because the idea is that as I lose weight, right, the clothing I'm wearing now I probably won't continue to wear, and then those will be things that get donated, and then I bring out the other stuff. So It just felt really good. It felt healthy for what I needed at the time. Like, I need to reclaim my dresser, I need to reclaim my closet, and it felt really empowering. So that was amazing. For February, we are going to be looking at the bathroom storage. So we have, I'm trying to pick activities that are very much like we can do it in the house and it's manageable because we're busy with work and it's winter time. It's not like we could have a yard sale or something. So I want to start with clothing. I don't know about you guys. Clothing does not sell at a yard sale really well for adult clothing. I feel like children's clothing, amazing at yard sales. Adult clothing, not so much. So I was like, we're going to have to donate that stuff anyway. That's a wintertime organizing task. Bathroom storage. Also not really a yard sale thing, in my opinion. Because a lot of what we need to purge is like expired medicine. You know, that 2-pack of ibuprofen you bought and you barely even finished the first bottle, let alone broke into the second one, and it's all like 5 years old now. I'm not. That just needs to be given to a pharmacy for them to dispose of. So, yeah. We bought this house during the pandemic. We moved in October 2020, and when we unpacked, like, stuff just went places. Just get it out of the boxes and put it somewhere. And some of it we have gone back and organized, but the bathrooms are not really one of those places. Like, stuff went up, and then when we couldn't find something like cold medicine, we just went and bought more. So, yeah. So that's what's up for the month of February, is to go through those spaces, get rid of old expired medicine. I know we have a lot of. So we just need to gather it all up and be able to take it to the pharmacy. They have drop-off places, because you're not supposed to just like dump it down the toilet and put it in the water supply. So if we can just gather it all up in a box and make a drop-off, that'll be fantastic. But there's also other stuff in the bathroom cupboard that I don't know, because it's behind a bunch of stuff. So we'll see what else I find when we get in there. But yeah, it's making me excited. Usually I like to do cleaning in the summertime when I'm not teaching and I have more time, but it gets really overwhelming to be like, I'm gonna clean the whole house in 2 months. Yeah, right? It hasn't happened. It hasn't happened for a reason, because it's just not doable. So I am excited to see how this goes with the spacing it out throughout the year, and I hope that by the end of this year we have spaces we can use again. So anyway, I thought I would share that with you in case you're also feeling like buried by your stuff. The craft room is a summer project, because I'm gonna need more hours in the day in here than what I can do right now while I'm working. So but yeah, I'm embarrassed to show you guys this room. It is shameful. If you have goals for your making or cleaning or your health or whatever you've made goals for, I would love to hear about it in the comments down below. Things that you're making, what you're working on. It always gives me lots of good ideas and inspires me. So share if you can and are willing to. But until next time, I hope that you stay safe, stay healthy, you enjoy your crafts. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.